This video was published by mbkpinternational.com. In this video, we're going to talk about replacing the main motor on the XPC19 Pro. The tools you're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver and a 10mm wrench. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is turn your cutter on and move the paper push to around the 6-inch mark. Doesn't have to be. You need that to get your back tables off. If it's too far, if the paper push is too far back, you can't get your back tables off. So 6 inches is about right. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to turn the cutter off and unplug it from power. And we're going to take this top crown off. And over here, there's, for the top crown, there's you know, one thing, maybe let's take this off first, because on some of them they got a lip and the crown won't come off before taking this off. But most of them don't these days. But take this off first. You're going to have 4 Phillips. I've already taken them out to make this faster. 4 Phillips will take that off. And you also got 4 Phillips screws on the crown. 2 on each side, 2 there and 2 on the other side. So get those taken off. And then you're just going to lift this thing up. And you're going to have somebody unplug it. I'll have the cameraman. And just look for the, it's usually this one, but just look for the one that's, every once in a while I've seen them switch, but it's usually this one. Just look for the one going straight up. And unplug it, and then you can move this to the side and put it to the side somewhere. This, replacing the motor is not that hard. It's just, I would say it takes about 30 to 45 minutes to replace the motor. Next thing I'm going to do is we're going to take these back tables off. And to do that, we're gonna, there's I think there's like 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on each back table. You get 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7. Same on the other side. We're gonna pause it while I take all those off. Okay, I got all the screws off. And we're just gonna, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna slide this straight back like this. You're gonna need at least a foot clearance, approximately from the back wall. And just do this gently, because you don't want to hit this paper push hard. You can knock it out of alignment. And when it goes back a few inches, there's a bar under there that gets in the way, so you got to lift this up just about an inch and a half, and then slide it, continue to slide it back. And then just try not, like I said, try not to bump that too much. Just put this out of the way. And come around this other side. And we'll do the same on it, just sliding it back. Again, it won't go back as far as it'll go back until you lift up the back an inch and then take it on out. You can see the motor from that side. Basically, we're going to be replacing this motor here. And just as you can see, this thing is pointing, these two things and this, it's kind of basically this is pointing straight back. That's what you're going to be, that's the way it's going to go back in after you take it off. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna let's see, we'll take these, there's 10mm bolts here. There's 4 of them. There's 1, 2, another 3, another one, and there 4. So we're just gonna take the 10mm wrench and we're gonna take all 4 of these 10mm bolts off. Okay, we'll start with this one, and I'll take that one off, this one, and the one under there. Pause it. Okay, I took all 4 of them out. Here they are here. Just put them up here until they don't get lost. And what I'm going to do next, you know, on this here, this thing could be, you don't want to bump it too much. Like I said, you don't want to get it. This is what keeps your paper cut square. If you want, you can just, by hand, this is when this thing's unplugged, by hand you can just roll this like this and get it out of the way if you want. You might get a little grease on your hands, so keep that in mind. You have to wash them afterwards. I'm just like that. Get it all the way to the back. You don't want to go too far back, because then it'll get past this thing and you go to turn it on and it'll be past this sensor and it'll try to go back and it won't sense that sensor and it will just it'll make a loud noise because it was trying to go back and it doesn't sense the sensor anymore. So don't bump this sensor. Get it back just maybe a couple inches from that sensor, maybe like that, and just leave it alone. That's why you got plenty of room to work here now. Okay, now I took those 4 bolts out, and when you do that, let's see here. You should be able to rotate it. And we're just going to pop this off. I'm trying to get these things here, and it's hitting this here. So, yeah, we're going to get a Phillips screwdriver now. Yeah, this cap will hit this. If you rotate, you can only rotate it so far. But we're going to get these go ahead and pause real quick. Okay, one thing I need some masking tape so we can number those wires. So I got this here. We're just going to number those wires. Go back there. Before you take them off, you want to number them. That way you get them back on the right order. So I'm going to just call this side 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's just these bottom ones here. So we're going to go this will be 1, and I'll go. Okay, got them all numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just make sure you get them. Just check them. Make sure you got them numbered correctly, and then we're just going to take these off. Loosen about 3 or 4 turns each, and just pull them out. You don't pull out right away easily. Loosen a few more. So only these bottom ones. You don't mess with the top ones. There's the 4, and you can straighten these up a little bit if you need to, because sometimes there's a little bent after you pull them out. And we'll put them in the new one. Just make sure these things don't fall off, because those you gotta get them back in the same order. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the motor. I may need to wiggle, but it's going to go that way, and we're just going to take it off. Keep in mind this motor is about 20 pounds, so be prepared when it comes off to make sure you get your. And this one sees on there kind of tight. Actually, let's see, we got this here, so we're going to take that off. I'll be putting a new stick square on that, or maybe if the stick square's on good, I'll just clip it. I'll clip that zip tie and put another zip tie on it. Sometimes they're connected to this, and sometimes they're not. They are connected to your motor. Just you want to get it free because you're going to be putting a new motor there. Pause it for a second. Okay. Sometimes, most of them come off fairly easy, but this one's a little tight. I just got a little screwdriver and I kind of just went like that. Go around it a little bit until it starts coming out on you. And now I'm just gonna. This thing will spin like this, so I'm just gonna kind of wiggle up and down and go that way with it at the same time. And it's still very tight. Again, this is a rare one. Most of them are not this tight. It's coming slightly now. And that's it. Just comes straight off. And like I say, this is about 20 pounds, so be prepared when it comes out. It's got a post that big, you can see. So the weight's going to come down on it when it comes out. And you can just stand it up to the side right here. Okay. Go ahead. On this, okay, if you can see this is the gearbox here. And this is this here on this thing. And you got a key there. There's a key on it. And you can see that's where it goes into. And there's the slot there for the key. And basically when you go to put your new motor in, just pay attention to where this slot is. You can actually get a screwdriver like this and turn it if you want it to, but it's best just to leave it wherever it's at and just, in this case I'm lucky it's just straight up 12 o'clock, but just look at where yours at. It could be at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever. And then the motor is going to go in like this with these two plastics this way, and just, you can turn this thing easy. Just set it to about 12 o'clock. In my case, your case could be something else. And that way you can get it right in there, and it goes right into the keyhole. And basically all I'm doing is kind of wiggling it as I'm pushing it in. Okay. So I'm going to wiggle it and push. And that went in a lot easier than it came out. Again, most of them don't come out that hard, but it's still not a big deal because you can just use a screwdriver in there and just kind of lightly start prying around it until it starts breaking free. Anyway, and if it is hard to get in, you don't have to get it all the way in. You get it like that much can be free, and you just need to get these screws started, and then it will pull it in. Let's see here. I'm trying to, this is in the way, but yeah, there's not really. The toughest part about this is you can't really see these holes. So before you put your new motor in, just make sure these are backed off real good, and you can see the holes in there that these things are going to go into before you tighten it down. So I'm going to go ahead and put these screws in, and basically you can just start one first, get it in there, and you can kind of rotate this until you fish for the hole until you find it. There it is right there. Don't tighten any of them down until you get all 4 in. I'll get that one in. Several turns on each. And I got 2 more to get in. Let's go ahead and pause it. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the number 1 and put in the number 1 hole here. You might want to take a look at it before you take this off. Let me get another motor. Go ahead and pause that. Okay, this is what you're gonna be screwing them into, and I just got one off a motor here, and there they are right there. And you're basically need to back the screws off to get them in there. Let's see, there it is. Look at my screwdriver. But you see there, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but the screw's too deep in there, so I'm gonna back it out to where that hole with that one's too deep in there too. I'm gonna back it out. Again, this is not where I'm putting the wires. I'll be putting this one. I just want to show you, what I would do here is I would have these, make sure they're opened up like that's what I'm saying, before you put the motor on. That's what I should have showed you. And then that way they're opened up and ready for this to go in there to screw down on, so you can just put them in there. You have to fish for it a little bit, and then once it's in there, you just clamp, I'll get one here. I'll just grab one here, number 4 or something. Go in reverse order. You see 4? There's 4 right there. So I'm going to go in reverse order. I'm going to put 4 in, back it out here, put it up in there, and screw it down. And you'll know I can pull down on it and tug down on it. You can see it's not coming out. Just snug tight on these, and you can check them like that. Now occasionally these could break off, and then you just have to strip the wire with the wire strippers and redo it. But most of the time they don't. But anyway, I'm not gonna do all of them, but that's just one. Then you go 3, 2, and 1. Get them all in, check them all, make sure they're in good. You potentially, I don't know if it'd reach or not. I don't think it'd reach. I was about to say you could potentially set the motor up here before you put it in and put the wires in it. If you can do that, if you can find a place to set the motor and the wires reach it, that way you can see the wires going in and snug down on them. You can watch them going in the holes, and it's a lot easier that way if you could find a place to put the motor, like on the edge here or somewhere else. If you got to set the motor and these wires reach, and then you can put all the wires in and then come down and put it in. You already got the wires in, but it's up to you how you want to do that. You can also use your phone as a like a selfie mode, and you can see under there, and you can kind of watch it as it goes in. I've done that before, so that's easy. You can use your phone as the camera on your phone to watch them go in. But get all 4 of them. I'm not going to do it right now, but get all 4 of those in, and I'll show you how to put these tables back on. Let's see here. Pretty simple. You're just going to want to. One thing I did is you can't get them on with this back here, so I'm going to have to put this back. Once I get all those wires in, you're going to put this back to where it was, around the 5 or 6 inch mark. Go ahead and pause it. Okay, I just rolled it back, as you can see. It was somewhere around there, just above this, I think it was. That's about right. And all we're going to do is put these tables back in. And again, you're just going to come straight in. You're going to go under here. You don't want to bump this too much, or at least not hard. You can bump it, but just not hard. And you're just going to go straight under it like that. And you see this is how it's kind of up in the back here. It's going to fall down. And I'll show you why. It's got to clear that bar right there. It's going to slide that way, it's going to fall down into place. There, it just fell down. Now it's flat. Now the only thing you do is you got to watch out for this. There's a gap here. Well, if you want to come around here, there's a gap. Come over to the top, please. And see that gap there? That wire needs to go in there. You don't want to pinch this wire up front or anything. It needs to go to the side of it right there. And right here, you need to kind of lift up to get it on top of that. Just to slide it on top, and then it just slides into place. And from there, you can kind of slide this thing back to fish for the holes. Line up the screw holes as good as possible. Get them all lined up as good as possible. And then you start putting your screw holes in. You do the same thing to the other side. Should be a wire over here just like there, and you just got to get it in that gap right there. You don't want to get it pushed against here. You want to get it in that gap where the thing goes against it like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to start all the screws. You're going to get all the screws started, all 7 of them. And once they're all started, then you can tighten them all down. And the reason you want to do that, sometimes you get one, if you tighten one down, it may tighten down, and this one doesn't line up quite perfect to get it in. But if you just start them all, there's always a little bit of play. You can move it a little bit with them, just start it to where you can get the holes lined up and get all the screws back in. So get all the screws started, but don't tighten them. And then once you do, you can move this back and forth as needed to get them all in. And then once they're all in, then you can tighten them. Same thing to the other side, exact same, just opposite side. And then you come back here with the crown. You're going to put your crown back in place. Have somebody plug it in for you. Just nice, down nice and easy, and into place. From there you can put your 2 screws in here, 2 screws on the other side. Of course you'll have the other table on the other side. I can't do this, but we'll put that table on. You can put this back in place and get your screws, all 4 screws back in place on that. It's all pretty simple, straightforward stuff. Just take your time with it. And probably the biggest problem is getting the wires into the motor. So take your time with that. You, like I said, use the camera on the selfie mode camera on your phone, and you can have your camera there, and you can be watching the screen of your camera, or someone holding your phone there as you're going up in there. That way you can see the screws, the wire going into that hole, and then the screw tightening down onto that wire. Because you can't really see it here because it's down on the bottom. So you kind of just got to feel for it if you can't see it. So it'd be better to use the camera on your phone. I think that'd be the best way to do it. Be the safest too. Instead of trying to put the wires on before you put the motor in, I think it's best just to get the motor in, and then get the screws in place on the motor, and then get your make sure you tighten down all those screws. I don't know if I did that in the video, but of course obviously get all 4 screws in and get them all tight, snug tight down. Get those wires in there. You can snap that plastic cap back in place, and then just plug it in and test it. You know, it should be unplugged. Make sure it's unplugged during doing all this, because you don't want any power going to it at all, because there's still some residual power if you got it plugged in and turned off. Do it with it unplugged from the power completely, and then once you get in, you can turn it on and test it. This video was published by mbkpinternational.com.